Yes, I know that this is called Animation Station. I am more than well aware of that. But it's not just animation I like to watch, because there's a lot of things I like to watch. Aside from just animation, I watch superhero films, I watch horror movies, and I enjoy a cheesy action movie, so you know what? Sue me. So what's up, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Animation Station. How much for anything with animation, including some live action every now and then. And this is one of those times, and it's gonna start getting a lot of live action here soon because we have 31 Days of Horror is right around the corner, and we have not one but two marathons for this month. So yeah, it's gonna start getting pretty hectic and pretty crazy in here pretty quick. And let's start it all off with a first-time watch movie that I've heard good things about, but I wasn't sure what to expect, and that is The Expendables. This is a movie that I didn't have curiosity about, but I can't say I was that interested in it. Does it have a great cast? Oh yeah, absolutely. You have Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Terry Crews. You have a great cast in here, no doubt. But I don't know, something about it just didn't really click with me. Even watching the trailer from back then on other DVDs, it didn't really just interest me all that much because it looked like just another action movie that just happened to have a bunch of big names attached to it. Well, last night I finally watched it. I meant to get this review out yesterday, but things happen. And I have to say that this movie is pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't think it's an amazing movie. I don't think it's a very rewatchable movie, but as a one and done thing, I had a good enough time with it. I'm going to try to keep these live action reviews short, sweet, and to the point because, well, they're live action movie reviews. They're not as detailed as the animation stuff that I usually do. So I try to keep these ones short, sweet, and to the point so I don't waste too much of your time. So let's just go ahead and go straight to the written review on this one. I'm not doing synopsis or anything like that, yada, yada, yada. No thanks. Let's just keep this one simple, and it's going to be spoiler-free. So if you've never seen this movie before and you're curious about it, don't worry, there's no spoilers. So here's my written review. Great action, a stacked cast, awesome characters. I do really like the characters in here. Good performances, good directing from Sylvester Stallone, which I think he made this movie shortly after he made the fourth Rambo, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere around that timeline. Enjoyably brutal violence. There is lots of blood and gore in this movie, even though most of it is crappy CGI blood. But you know what? It's not a horror movie, so I'm not going to rag on it too much. Lots of funny moments. This movie is very funny. The interaction and dialogue between all these big men is hilarious. Especially Sylvester Stallone and Jason Statham, who argue sometimes like an old married couple, and it's friggin' hilarious. A very fun final battle. It's so over the top you can't help but have fun. A solid runtime of a little over an hour and a half, so it's not that bad. And some pretty nice cinematography. This movie does look pretty nice in certain shots. However, this one does have some issues. The story, while overall solid enough and works well for the movie and the story it's trying to tell, is pretty by the numbers and basic. It's a story we've seen before a dozen other times in a dozen other movies. Not just action movies, just a dozen other movies in general. So it's nothing new. The pacing is very inconsistent. Sometimes it's very slow, and other times it's really quick. The writing is hit or miss. It is a very funny movie, but there are a few lines of dialogue that leave you scratching your head or just what word just came out of your mouth? That kind of expression. Confusion. The villains are very generic and forgettable. The villains in this movie are shite. Complete and total shite. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The villains in this movie suck. Even Stone Cold Steve Austin, who barely gets to do anything. Oh well. The rewatchability is middling. Like I said, this is pretty much a one-and-done kind of movie. And while it replicates the action of the old-school 80s films very well, it unfortunately lacks the charm that made those movies so iconic. It doesn't have that same, well, like I said, the same kind of charm to it as those other movies did from way back when. Movies like Terminator, Predator, Die Hard, stuff like that. Heck, even Bruce Willis is in this movie. So, yeah. All complaints aside, though, this is still a pretty good movie and a fun enough watch. Not a huge fan yet, but I still recommend it. And one other complaint I do have with the movie is that Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis are barely in the movies. So when you see them show up, that's pretty much the only scene that you see them in, and it's a huge bummer. But you know what? It is what it is. It's still a pretty good movie, and I do have a good time with it. It's just not the greatest thing ever. And I don't know how it turned into a franchise, but we'll see how the sequel turns out later on today. So until then, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Jack Small of Animation Station, and as for my final verdict for this movie, I'm going to give it a strong 7 out of 10. I think a 7 is more than fair, because it's very good, but it's not all that memorable, and it is very much, at least for me, a one-and-done kind of watch. It's fun, it's funny, it's action-packed, it's over the top, but it's fun. So, yeah, I'm not going to be harsh on it. I do have, I had all those complaints, yes, but I still had a good time with it overall. I wasn't just sitting there back in my chair like, oh, goodness, let this crap end. I wasn't like that by any means necessary. I still had a good time with this movie, and I think if you decide to watch it, I think you'll have a good time too. As long as you can stomach some brutal gore and lots of swearing. So, yep, that's my review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Animation Station. You're almost such for anything and everything animation. And stay tuned because we got the other 3 Expendable movies to go, as well as later today, we're starting the other franchise. And we get to start 31 Days of Horror early this year because Saw's coming back with a brand new movie by the end of this month. So we're going to start reviewing all the Saw movies starting today. But next up is going to be the updated movie tier list for Dragon Ball. So until then, thank you guys for watching. I'm Justin of Animation Station. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.